Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
I know, isn't he wonderful? He took lessons in junior college.
Heads up!
Welcome to another music review, everybody. I'm so excited to discuss these two new albums from two bands that I have been a fan of for so many years. And before I get into that, I do have to say one thing. I unfortunately will not be reviewing the newest album from the 1975 this year. Even though I am pretty certain that it is going to be one of my favorite albums of 2018, I'm doing that for two reasons. One, because of the fact that I don't have anything to pair it with, because if you're new to my channel, first of all, welcome, it's a pleasure to have you. And if you are returning and you have seen some of my music reviews, you know that I like to do this in pairs, so I don't have a pairing for it. And the second reason is I kind of want to wait until next spring when the 1975's fourth album comes out and review them both together. I just think that that would be a much better thing. But the albums that I want to discuss today are two albums that, once again, because the mainstream music sucks balls, I didn't know that these albums were coming, and I had to literally scour the internet in order to find out what was happening. So the first album that I want to discuss is the newest installment from the band Disturbed, and it is called Evolution. And I was more interested in this new Disturbed album than the last two albums because, oh my goodness, this album was wrapped to hell in controversy. Even though the last album had an amazing cover from David Draymond doing The Sounds of Silence, people were not saying nice things about Evolution because of the fact that they said it's not Disturbed. But David Draymond, who is probably one of the best vocalists in all of hard rock and heavy metal for the last 15 years, basically said that we're not young anymore, we're maturing, and our sound is going to mature as well, so prepare yourselves for what Evolution is going to sound like. And quite frankly, I like this album a lot. I think it's one of the best albums of 2018. It's not just the sound that has changed. The lyrics got so much deeper in this album. My favorite song in this album is track 4, In Another Time, because it is all about how we are now dependent on technology and the social fabric of this world is crumbling because nobody is engaging in discussions anymore and nobody is talking to each other face to face. And it's just such a well-written song, the lyrics are great, the tune is great, and the rest of this album is great too. I love The Best Ones Lie, I love Savior of Nothing, so many great songs, even though they're not so hard, he's not screaming, there are a couple of very soft, even some positive songs in this album. You know, metal can be positive too, but I am so impressed by Disturbed and what they have done and where they have gotten to in this point in time. From The Sickness to now, I believe that they are still going extremely strong, and if this is what they're going to turn into, I'm going to tell you this, I will embrace them, and I'm so excited for the next album. The next album that I want to review, oh boy, I was very curious. First of all, it's the newest album from the Smashing Pumpkins. I didn't even know that they were finally making one because in the last couple of years, there has just been nothing but issues with this band. Billy Corgan tried to make this massive music project called Tea Garden by Kaleidoscope, including a couple of EPs and even some full-length albums, and it failed miserably. And the last album was supposed to be part of a two-piece, and Monuments to an Elegy was the first installment, and it was not good. It was okay at best, and because of that, the second album, which was called Day and Night, or whatever it was originally supposed to be called, it didn't happen. And I remember I've said this in numerous videos where I've talked about Smashing Pumpkins albums, how after they made Machina, the Machines of God, they retired because they believed that there was no place for them anymore because of what music had become. And you know something? Until this point in time, I was believing it. Very much so. Because I bought Oceania. It's good. It's not great. But this is a very interesting album. This is called Shiny and Oh So Bright, Volume 1, No Past, No Future, No Sun. So, it's only 8 songs. but this album finally hit the mark and struck a chord with me. Except for only one song on this album, which is Alienation, I really enjoy all the songs on this album, and I think it's because of a couple of things. One, the entire band, original band, is almost back together. I don't think that Darcy, the original bassist, is ever going to come back. But James Iha came back, and Jimmy Chamberlain is back as well. So you have 3 of the 4 original band members of Smashing Pumpkins playing this album together. And I feel that with James Iha being back, you heard that amazing Smashing Pumpkins sound, not so much as what you got in Siamese Dream, even though the song Seek and You Shall Destroy and Marching On have a lot of that Siamese Dream feel, but it really sounds like melancholy, and even a little bit of a Door is in there as well. So those are the Smashing Pumpkins albums that I love, and Shiny and Oh So Bright feels like those albums. And now it makes me excited for the second album, if it ever comes. I'm not sure if it will, but it also makes me so happy to know that they're trying to find that piece of the pie that music is right now, because it's not just them, it's pretty much every band in rock music right now that is trying to find their place, because when it comes to radio play and streaming, there are very few bands that sound like Smashing Pumpkins or even Disturbed that is even getting the play that they deserve. But I really feel that the Smashing Pumpkins have got something here. I feel that they have the ability to come back and make more of this music that their fans from the grunge era and the alternative era grew up with and loved, because they were so different and they were so out there, and their lyrics and their sound was unlike anything you ever heard in all of music, even at that time. So knowing that this album makes me feel good and makes me enjoy it, because I've listened to it 3 times already, it's relatively new in my collection, I am still going to keep listening to this. I want to listen to some of my older Smashing Pumpkins albums, and now I want to give Zeitgeist, Oceania, and Monuments to an Elegy another listen, because I kind of feel like I need to complete it all. I just want to see where they trailed off until they came to Shiny and Oh So Bright, and to me at least, I feel that they got back on their high horse, and I really am hoping that their second installment in this duology, if that is what it's going to be, comes out very, very soon. So that's it, everybody. 2 new albums to discuss. I'd like to know your thoughts on Disturbed and the Smashing Pumpkins. If you don't know about them, give them a listen. I don't know if you'll like them or not, but I love both of these bands. But in the meantime, guys, I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.